All right, joining us now, I'm delighted he's with us, Charlie Kirk, Turning Point USA, founder, president, all the rest. Charlie, what is this that they're doing? I mean, they really are perplexed by the stupid men out there who keep voting for Trump.
It feels like they're National Geographic reporters, like going into a tribe they've never come in contact with.
Yeah.
Like, we must investigate half the population and why they hate us so much. We speak to a lot of people on campuses, and men have been gravitating to our message, especially working class men. And it's amazing to see how President Trump didn't just win this last election, but he's remade the political map permanently, where the Democrats, they are becoming much more pandering towards higher educated and smaller slivers of the American population. People that drive forklifts for a living, or that are waitresses or waiters or Uber drivers, they're gravitating towards the Republican Party. And the Democrats have had a moralizing, almost scolding tone to them, that if you do not adhere to our orthodoxy, you are a non-believer and you are not allowed in our ranks. And because of that, men of America have been sick and tired of being told what to do from a political party that hates them.
And they also are tired of being called haters if they disagree with the left's prevailing wisdom. You're a hater, you're mean, you're anti-women. And speaking of that, the Southern Poverty Law Center has now labeled, you're in the club with me, by the way, they've labeled Turning Point as a hate group.
Yes, it's
coming from a hateful group like
them. It's a surprise it took them so long to get us on the list.
What took you so long, Charlie?
Understand that they're literally putting high school chapters of ours on a hate group next to the KKK and next to neo-Nazi groups. And, I mean, we can laugh this off. There's an element to this. Remember that there was a shooter that went to the Family Research Council years ago, inspired by the SPLC list. This is them trying to make us basically surrender at Turning Point USA. We're going to do the opposite, and our students are only going to lean in even more. But they can't debate us on our ideas. They cannot have dialogue. They cannot actually go onto the merits of why they are right or why we might be wrong. Instead, they must smear us with the age-old one-liner that you are a racist or that you are a hater. And they're finally realizing the power of Turning Point USA, which is why they put us on this list.
Well, when you're effective, you're a threat, right?
That's
so
right.
They called me the high priestess of hate, right, Sam? Is that what they call me? I'm just...
Congratulations.
2008. Oh, it's old. It's so old. But again, the Democrats, I think they appeal to a certain very whiny man.
That's right.
It's like the pajama boy, whatever they're calling them.
Do you remember that Obamacare advertisement?
I never forgot that guy.
It was the archetype of the liberal man.
What they think a man is.
Yes, that's right. Never standing up for yourself, very feelings-based, no assertion, no drive, no grit. Almost always pandering to the zeitgeist of the times, where it turns out, especially in the heartland of this country, the American man is still alive and he wants his country back. And they showed up in record numbers for President Trump, and they're rejecting the Democrat Party. They're the backbone class of this country. They make the country work. They're largely forgotten. And the Democrats spending $20 million on video game advertisements.
Let them spend the money.
Let them burn that. By the way, if they think that's what it's actually going to take to win back young men, maybe you need a message and a messenger that they can relate to.
Well, they think their messenger might be David Hogg, I understand.
Oh, you know, when I think of masculinity, I think of David Hogg.
Yeah, is he? What's the idea behind him? Do you think?
Again, that goes to show the Democrats probably got in a room. They said, "Guys, we're losing the youth. So what we need is a young vice chair of our party." Turns out, David Hogg is all over the place talking about how he's going to primary sitting Democrats, and he went on the Breakfast Club saying that Jasmine Crockett is one of the most inspiring leaders of the Democrat Party. And if their solution to winning men is David Hogg, please continue, because you're not going to win a national election for quite some time.
Well, I think we have an interesting soundbite dovetailing from what you just said. Let's watch.
Jasmine Crockett, I love her. She is amazing.
Yeah.
I think that people want to see somebody who fights and calls out the ultimately. I think that's what Jasmine does, and we need a hell of a lot more people that are out there that are willing to do just that. I think Jasmine is frankly the type of leader that we're really looking to support.
There's a lot of talk about what's happening in Israel right now. Hostages being released, terrorists resurfacing, Gaza plans, and so on. But there's one thing we tend to overlook: the people of Israel. The war has taken a huge physical and emotional toll on the Jewish people. And that's why I want you to know about the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews. And I want you to support the important work they do. IFCJ is on the ground throughout Israel, providing food and life-saving aid to the sick and elderly, even released hostages and their families. Join with me and visit ifcj.org/learn more. I mean, it would just be so sad if it wasn't the Democrats. Instead, I'm just kind of cheering and delighting in it. the men of America, they have understood that this woke, politically correct, we're going to have the pronoun police thrown at you culture has not worked for them, and they want a political party that aligns with their values. It's much more of a cultural rebellion and a cultural realignment than even a political one. But there's David Hogg pandering that Jasmine Crockett is the future. If Jasmine Crockett runs in 2028, I will be a bundler for her. I hope she runs.
Oh, good. You were recently in Britain, weren't you?
That's right, Oxford and Cambridge.
Yeah, so I watched some of your debates in Britain. And aren't you so happy when you come back home thinking, thank God we have a representative democracy? To make real change in Europe with the parliamentary system is
not only that,
impossible.
they have a permanent deep state that makes ours look like child's play. And it's really sad. Britain is a husk of its former self. It really is. It's a sad shell of a great nation, and I hope that they are great again. But my goodness, we are so lucky to have President Trump, who is now leading a Western movement across many continents. But coming back to America, I say, at least in this country, the people still have some semblance of governance over their country.
Romania, France, Germany, they're pushing down those
big
populist
time. No,
movements.
what we have here is so unique and
for,
so special.
And for Trump to have won twice, when you see how hard it is for populists in Europe to win, it makes his achievement even more astounding.
Largely because of free speech. We can't forget it. The First Amendment is our birthright that allows movements like President Trump to survive.
Scott Pelley says that's under threat.
Oh, yeah, big time.
What do you think of that speech?
I mean, first of all, I love what you said. It's so melodramatic, and it's like, what is he rehearsing for some sort of some sort of Shakespeare play? You could tell he's so high in his own supply. There's no one that's ever been actually told him that. Hey, calm down, Scott. Like, has anyone ever challenged him in an open environment? But look, he has the right to make a fool of himself at Wake Forest University. It's the beauty of free speech, which is the American birthright. And looking at Europe, my goodness, one of the main reasons why those populist movements can't actually have success is you don't have the same robust speech protections that we have in this country. Lucy Connolly in the United Kingdom, she's facing 2.5 years in prison time in the UK for a mean tweet. Over 30 people a day are arrested for offensive social media posts in the United Kingdom. 30 people a day, same in Germany. And we in America, we should be so grateful to God that we have President Trump and the ability to speak freely.
Yeah, and our Constitution, our brilliant framers. Charlie, it's so good to see you in studio.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, I have to see you on YouTube all the time. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.